Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Las Vegas Casino podcast. One last review for you today. This one for a show that I also saw at Planet Hollywood. It seems like I've seen a lot of shows there in Planet Hollywood now that I think about it. I've seen Nathan Burton's show. I've seen The Mentalist show. I've seen one involving cats and dogs, which I'll talk about in another podcast soon. I've seen Murray the Magician, who's playing there now as well. So quite a good number of shows. This one is yet another one that I've seen there, and I think the reason why I go there so often is because they seem to have the best midway prices when it comes to their tickets. They're not too expensive, and in some cases they're not too cheap, but at least I'm not paying ridiculous, like let's say $60, $80, or $100 plus tickets for something involving a show. So that's why I keep going to them so frequently, and they have a good variety as well to pick from, which actually segues into this show that I saw last time I was in Vegas, and it's also called Variety. It's called The Variety Show, and it's located there in Planet Hollywood. One more time, it's there at the V Theater. Again, if you go inside Planet Hollywood, it's way along the bottom end of the Miracle Mile shop, which is almost like, again, a mile of shops that you have to walk through. But the Variety Show, the reason why it's called that is because it's not just one single act. It's a multitude of acts. I think, if I remember correctly, there were at least 7 acts, or maybe 6. I can't remember exactly. But there was a multitude of acts, all of them kid-friendly, by the way. So this is another show that if you have a family, if you have little ones with you, you can definitely go see this show and not have to worry about anything risque when it comes to Las Vegas. This is a show also that plays in the middle of the day, so it's, I believe, at 4 o'clock, if I remember correctly. So it's not too late, it's not too early. Good time to catch some lunch beforehand and then go check out the show. So what is it exactly? Again, it's a multitude of different acts. It's the only one that I know of that does this, in fact, because any other show that I go to, it's either centrally themed on comedy, or it's themed on magic, or it's themed on like dance. No, this is everything, all under one place. You have comedians, you have magic, you have performers, you have people doing tricks. It's everything all under one place. It's at a place, it's still the same V Theater, if I'm not mistaken, and once you go inside there, it's quite intimate, but not too small. If I had to wager, I'd probably say there was about maybe 300 seats or so. So not quite the 1,500 seat like at, let's say, the Illusion show that I was just recently at, but not quite also like the 100 seat theater that I was in for Murray the Magician. No, this seems to be something that is a little bit larger. And right out the bat, the show starts off with the two co-hosts of the theater of the show there. They lead you in some comedy, and it pretty much sets the theme for the rest of the show. It lets you know that it's not going to take itself very seriously. That's there to have fun. It's there to project fun and give people a good time. By the way, the tickets to the show, they're a little bit more pricier than some of the other shows like The Mentalist or Nathan Burton's show. If I recall correctly, these particular tickets cost me around $50 because I bought the VIPs, and even then that was at a discount. But I'm sorry, no, they were actually about $60. But I purchased a booth, I guess you could call it a package deal, where it involved some fajita dinners at a Mexican restaurant nearby, and total came to around $70. So not too bad. But again, it's not too expensive at the same time. So these two guys came out. They started the show. They had their own little theatrics, playing some fun with some guests. If you're sitting near the front area, by the way, be ready to be picked on, because especially if they find somebody that they find suitable to pick on for the rest of the show, watch out if you're that person. Again, nothing too bad. Like, they're not going to curse you out or make any horrific jokes. Instead, it's just poking fun at people, but that's about it. And then the rest of the show were the different acts. I remember there was a very beautiful ballerina type woman that came out A great looking redhead, very graceful, thin, just beautiful. Again, perfectly like a ballerina, like you would imagine. And her deal was she had these hula hoops, but not just doing the hula hoops like around the hip. No, she would do them everywhere. She would pose in certain stances with the hula hoops and throw them up in the air, catch them, have them land, have them come back, spin around. It was actually quite nice, not just to see her, but to see the acts that she was able to do with this. And based upon what the website said, because I went to look at her information afterward to see who this was, because I never heard about her before. Apparently she was part of some kind of Olympics team before where she came from. It was somewhere in Russia, if I'm not mistaken, and she's been performing her whole life. And then finally when she came here in the US, that's when she came on board with this show. But she's a gymnast of some sort, and you can totally tell how well choreographed she has her act down to, because some of those hula hoops that she was doing, I mean, they came within a couple of feet of the audience member, not like by accident. This was on purpose. Like, she purposefully was able to move the hula hoops straight to the audience and keep them there at a couple of feet away from their distance, while carefully making sure that they don't hit anybody. So very, very nice stuff. Next came a comedian of some sort, and he was on there for about maybe 10-15 minutes. And again, if you've seen any comedy shows there in Vegas, same concept, no different here, except his was a lot more cleaner, because again, this is a kids show. Then there was these two other gymnasts, but these were men that came out, and basically their shtick was they would get on top of one another, and using just pure sheer body power, like one of them would stand on one hand and then the other one stand on top of him with another hand, and just by using the strength of their own bodies, they would keep their balance perfectly in line. Again, both of them like just standing on one hand of one another, and you can tell that they practice a lot, because to do something like this and to do it in such a fluid and graceful option, I mean, it takes time. There were some other people that came out, some guys actually that were pretty funny. Their costume was purposely where they were always on their knees, but the way their costume looked like, it looked like they were little people, that they were little people, but they were village little people, the village people themselves. You know the famous song YMCA, that's them, that's the village people, like they're mocking them or pretending to be them, but as little people. And that's when the song would come on, and it was pretty fun. It was a good time. And then there was one more act involving the two co-hosts. They would come out again. They would actually introduce every single act that I just described, and they would do their own little comedy again, but this time they had their own thing involving drums, and they had something involving like where they would swing a rope with a rock, a small pebble on it, but they would do it in they would synchronize it with each other, so that way they would create a pattern of beats on the floor and make it like a musical of some sort, which is actually quite nice. But there was some other acts, but I can't remember them right off bat, but it goes to show that the V for Variety is there for a reason. There is a multitude of acts, no two the same, and again, this is the only time that I have ever seen something like this. So if you want to experience a show that pretty much covers everything, the full gamut when it comes to what you can see in Las Vegas, this is a good show to go check out. They even have an option at the end when the show finishes. Every single one of those acts will come out, and when they come out, they'll be there on the side greeting audience members. If you have tickets, they'll be happy to sign. They also have stuff that they're selling there as well. I think I saw t-shirts of some there. I think I saw like some memorabilia there as well. And whenever that happens, it's always good, because it's nice to see the performers give a little bit back to the audience and make sure that as they're leaving, they leave on a good note, because there they are, everybody is leaving on file, but there they are, saying hi, welcoming, taking pictures, thanking the audience members for being there, for coming by. Pretty good stuff. So again, the V Variety Show, located there very conveniently at the V Theater in Planet Hollywood. Go check it out when you have a chance. Again, VIP tickets probably about $50 if you buy the package for like a good set of fajitas. They come to about $70 or so. I think regular tickets are somewhere around $40. So check it out when you have a chance. Alright, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.